happen if Denver kept Tim Tebow and didn't get Peyton Manning? What would have happened? Well, it's funny because since Peyton Manning, the best quarterback they had was Tim Tebow. It's kind of weird to think of it like that. And John Elway is not a fan of him. It's weird because after Peyton, they haven't found anyone even remotely good, better, hopeful, even. And it's kind of sad because after Peyton Manning, it's Tim Tebow as potentially Denver's most successful quarterback with John Elway's guidance. It's kind of funny to think about that. And you thought with Russell Wilson they would get something like that. And then Sean Payton. And long story short, I think Denver's just desperate for something positive. So yeah, it's gonna be that type of video, guys. So hey everybody, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. And today we're talking about the Denver Broncos and the mess that they have created among themselves. Oh, the Denver Broncos. Did anybody else believe that they were going to make the playoffs? I think a lot of us did. I said they'll be 8-9 because I had more faith in the Chargers, and they would eventually cause the Broncos to lose a game or two more to the Chiefs and the Chargers. That would have put them just outside of 500 and sadly out of the playoffs. So I did think they'll be better. I mean, they did go 8-9, so technically I was right. One of the few I got. But it started off really bad to the point where somebody was going to be blamed as you're full of it, whether it's Russell Wilson or Sean Payton. And it's amazing because I remember at one point they were talking about that Aaron Rodgers was going to become a Bronco. Didn't happen. And as far as I know, we don't know what Aaron Rodgers is like outside of Green Bay yet. So we don't even know what that is yet. But when Russell Wilson made the deal to Denver, even I was going, okay, wow. Russell Wilson, Mahomes, twice a year. Oh, prime time. Get that schedule out. And I don't know. It just, when you see Russell Wilson, that he was still considered when he went to Denver, that you're now looking at going, was he really good in Seattle? Or was it the Legion of Boom? Was it Pete Kerr? Was it everybody but him? It's weird. It's weird how sports do. You praise him as a hero, and then when he looks to be normal, you're like, God, Russell Wilson, garbage. And now he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. So is Justin Fields. So we'll see what happens with that nightmare moving forward. All I know is that jersey sales are going to be very unique with Fields and Wilson both on the same team. These are two teams. You have a top first-round pick quarterback and a two-time Super Bowl appearing, one-time Super Bowl champion quarterback on the same team, and yet somehow, whoever you pick, you just feel like, I think I made a bad choice, no matter what you do in Pittsburgh. But in Denver, when John Elway was given more control over it, it was Paxton Lynch, Trevor Siemian. It was just quarterback, and then there were some of these, Joe Flacco and Case Keenum. These replacements to potentially find a way. And then when they went for Russell Wilson because they wanted Aaron Rodgers, didn't happen. They're thinking, we got Russell Wilson, we're fine, and it still backfired. That I can't help but feel like maybe there's a John Elway curse. Maybe there's a John Elway curse, or maybe you should not listen to him. Just because he plays the position doesn't necessarily mean that he is great at evaluating quarterbacks. Maybe he's good at evaluating himself, but not evaluating other quarterbacks. Because like I said, Tim Tebow, besides Peyton Manning, by the way, Denver drafted Tim Tebow. And Tim Tebow was the most successful Bronco because he actually won a playoff game as a Bronco starter, and the Broncos did draft him. Everyone else disappear into the wind, and they had a bunch of replacements to try to find some type of fix, and it has not happened. And with this year, what talks about them getting a quarterback, and the quarterback they're probably going to choose is not going to be something you're going to go, yay! It's going to be like, That's the best. That's the last donut in the box of donuts, and it's going to be like those blueberry cream filled tofu donuts. You're like, it's a donut, but I don't want it. But you wanted a donut. I know, but and you know you cannot leave without a donut. You cannot leave this draft without a quarterback. So for all I know, they might get Spencer Rattler because they need a quarterback. For all we know, I mean it's weird. It'll be funny. I'll be laughing my ass off if they get Spencer Rattler in the first round, going, they're desperate. So we'll see what happens when the draft comes. But yeah, Denver just felt like a team that I heard more about Denver about players they drafted, and then in about a year or two they're traded somewhere else. Bradley Chubb is gone. That was Judy's gone. Cortes The receiver there. Royce Freeman was there. He's gone. Lindsey was there. He's gone. They're just players you keep hearing, and then Von Miller. He's gone. So it just feels like there's. I mean, Simmons, their safety. Is he back on the team? Is he? Because he was. They cut him in free agency. Never heard anything about him. Matter of fact, let me just do a quick Google search and see where is Justin Simmons. No, according to this, he's still he's a free agent. Really? One of your best defensive captains is a free agent. Oh, because he's 30? Really? Man. Can't be 30 anymore and be considered good at anything. Wait, that's not what I meant. Anyway, your best game, Denver, was Week 8 versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Which, by the way, thanks to Simmons and Wilson, you beat the Chiefs. And like I was talking about the Raiders, Denver and the Chargers are not a team that I feel confident when I say they're going to beat the Chiefs. No, I don't feel that with the Broncos, especially the Broncos. Chargers, I feel like they just slip it out of the way. Denver, I just feel like they try to scare them by the fourth quarter. The Chiefs say, okay, we're going to beat you by 2 touchdowns, call it a day. Denver was clearly the inferior team to the Chiefs, but they found a way. They found a way. And it was, I mean, 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers helps a lot, but a win's a win. And the Broncos, I mean, a much superior opponent. They probably came in with a only have 1 loss at the time. You're a division foe. They pick on you. They're like that older brother always picks on you, but then you finally get that one clean uppercut, and they will remember that. Now, granted, after you made that uppercut, they kicked the crap out of you, but at least you can say, remember that time I got that clean punch on you? Yeah, and then they'll be like, and remember that time I stomped your face in? You'd be like, yeah, I was in a coma for 3 years. So, clearly, it was nice for Broncos to get a win against the Chiefs, and I think that was probably the start of the maybes. Now, granted, they did beat the Green Bay Packers the week before, 1917, but I feel like beating the Chiefs, and then they went on to beat Buffalo, Minnesota, Cleveland, a hard-fought loss to Houston. Then there was that sense of, okay, Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, somehow they finally found, they're on the same page. They finally, oh my God, they finally are friends. They're finally, and you lost to Detroit, New England, and the Raiders in the season, and end the last quarter 1-3, and just miss the playoffs. So close. So close. Not to mention you bench Russell Wilson for the last quarter of the season, or the last 2 weeks of the season, for reasons. I can't think of other reasons why. So, yeah. But being the Chiefs, big win. Positive. Midway through the season, probably made people turn heads. So, yeah. Your worst game, it's obvious. And I talked about this when I talked about the Dolphins. Yes, I know. It takes place within the first 4 weeks of the season, and I know I said I don't use the first 4 weeks. But you lost 70-20, and you guys were at full strength. 70 points you guys give up. Heck, take away the kickoff return, it's 70-13, which makes it worse. Hell, that kickoff return is more insulting to showcase that, wow. Like Owen Wilson says, wow, you guys suck. 70-20. Could have been more if the Dolphins head coach was an egomaniac and rubbed it in your face and breaking records in your face for eternity to have among you. I cannot ignore it. I cannot say it's not the worst game. It's one of the worst beatdowns in NFL history in modern day. 70-20. I mean, I've seen 28 nothings. I've seen 35 threes. I've seen 42-10. We've seen blowouts. But when a team scores 70 points, there almost has to be a sense of, okay, has the effort been gone? 70 points is just a feeling of there was no effort then. Because I just can't help but feel like the Dolphins were not a team that kept throwing touchdown passes over and over again, like the Jimmy Johnson Hurricanes of Miami that did that with their backup, and then they got criticized by Notre Dame and everyone else saying, that's not sportsmanship. And then I agree with Jimmy Johnson. I play with what I have. You have to stop it. I support that. Even though if I'm on the opposite side, I'll be very pissed off, but I'll still have that moment ahead thinking, well, we have to stop him. And we didn't. So, yes, it takes place in week 3. Yes, but it's 70-20. You guys were at full strength, and you got smoked. I have to address that massive beatdown. So, yes, it's going against my principles of this fictional YouTube show of me saying the first 4 weeks don't count, but I have to address it. 7-20. Ouch! Now, your MVP, this will be controversial. Because I know I did 2 videos of the AFC West and they have not been players. But we're going back to players, and your guys' MVP is Russell Wilson. You may not want to like it, but if you just look at Russell Wilson, he was 67% completion rating, over 3,000 yards. He had 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Now, granted, he was sacked 45 times, but I'm not going to blame it completely on him. But let me just address this. He played in 2 less games. They benched him for Stidham. So in 15 games, he had 26 interceptions. And I've said a quarterback that has over 25 touchdowns and in the single digit interceptions, I consider it a great year. Now I understand, accuracy, yardage, gains per, I get that. But to me, if you have 25 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, I think that is the nice point of your season wasn't complete garbage. It wasn't. So he had 2 games to miss, and I can't help but feel like he probably could have got 4 touchdowns those last 2 games and would have been 30 touchdowns to maybe 9 interceptions or even 10, but still probably would have been just under 10 maybe in the last 2 games. And that could have been a better... Russell Wilson, yes, he's in Pittsburgh. Yes, it's on a sense of his career is coming to an end, and now the debate comes, is he a Hall of Famer worthy? He went to 2 Super Bowls. He was a 3rd-round pick. He won a ring. He's short. He's Mr. Unlimited. What is he? So to me, Russell was the MVP, even though the record may not show up, but the stats kind of did. And when the Broncos were winning, there was positivity in the air that Russell Wilson and Sean Payton find a brotherhood. And the brotherhood broke it. And now he's gone. And Sean Payton will get his quarterback of the future of his choosing. And I swear, if it's Spencer Rattler, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna laugh and cry so hard if it's Spencer Rattler. Because I feel like Denver is that desperate for a quarterback. And Sean Payton and the Broncos are just gonna take what's left. Because I don't see him trading up aggressively. I don't. Even though I know they would. They sound like they would, but I don't think so. If it's Spencer Rattler, I'll laugh. I'm gonna cry laughing. And then when I do their draft review, it's going to be hilarious. So, grade for the Denver Broncos. After all that, the grade I'm giving them, to me, it's a D. I'm still giving it a D. I know I'll talk all this positivity about Russell Wilson, the stats, and the record, and still a D. Because Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, we thought with their pedigree, they would have figured it out, but it just felt like something's missing. I can't give it a C because with, like I said, Sean Payton and Russell Wilson's pedigree, we thought they would do something. We thought they'd be a little bit more competitive, a little bit more, of a threat to teams in the AFC and let alone the AFC West. Yes, they beat the Chiefs, but it just felt like there's something not clicking, And with the benching of Russell Wilson toward the end of the season, that I can't help thinking it was a financial reason. It just feels like they broke their brotherly contract among the two. So I'm giving them a D. Disappointment, down, dumb. That about sums it up. Denver. D. All right. We're going to the last video. You know where it is. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They won the Super Bowl. Let's try to be professional and nice. So until next time, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you so very much for watching.